in Mashantucket, Connecticut. We welcome you to the Foxwoods Casino. Tonight we bring you ESPN 2's Friday Night Fights. We have a 10-round junior middleweight bout. Former world champion Raul Marquez against Flores, and the vacant IBA middleweight championship Dana Rosenblatt against Terry Norris. Hello again, everyone. Glad you can join us for ESPN 2's Friday Night Fights. I'm Bob Papa. No need to sleep tonight. 1992 Olympian Raul Marquez still to come as he fights in a 10-round junior middleweight bout in a tough one against Flores. That coming up next on ESPN 2. Bout. Punch numbers in round 4. The jab we'll look at.
And that's a very significant statistic because early in the bout, remember how well Flores was doing with the jab. Now, not only is he landing not a good percentage, but Marquez, even though his percentage isn't good, is outlanding him in terms of numbers.
Marquez has been the aggressor. No knockdowns and a good left hand from Raul Marquez, and then a counter shot by Flores and a double right hand to the body and head by Flores.
Now Flores working hard on the inside, making that slugfest you talked about, and see if he can take advantage of the defensive liabilities of Raul Marquez. And why would he get into a slugfest, Flores? Well, maybe because he might be behind it.
According to your card.
In my card, I have Marquez winning all 4 rounds, so easily one of those could have gone to Flores. There were a couple of fairly close ones.
Marquez, similar to Philadelphia boxers, like a Meldrick Taylor, he can box beautifully. And then as soon as he gets tagged, Holyfield the same thing, although he's from Atlanta, not Philadelphia. Once he gets tagged a couple times, it's like, all right, forget about the boxing, let's go to war.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I think Raul would be the first to tell you that's something that happens.
He's not moving on his feet, he's not jabbing and circling now, he's just leaning and he'll look to trade. Well, that shot might have been a bit low.
Now Marquez has stopped his body work. Flores is the one working downstairs, sometimes a little low, but he's working down there. He's getting better with the inside fighting, Flores.
Chopping left from Marquez. The right hand to the chest by Raul.
Raul is underusing the uppercut. He has a good uppercut, and instead he's missing with those hooks over the head and right hands over the head. He might want to go to the uppercut more. And Flores showing us very good defense on the inside. Really, maybe better than Marquez would have thought he was going to see.
Well, Marquez has done a good job of boxing, but this is where he is at his best, in tight with his power shots. The problem is that lends itself to head colliding and cuts.
And in this instance, Flores is doing a better inside job, I think, than they would have thought. In this round, he's really done the better job on the inside. Though I would think, as you said, that this would be good terrain for Marquez. Flores has done well.
Earlier tonight, Lucia Riker with a stoppage win. Eric Morel stopped Rodolfo Blanco, and Zahir Rahim stopped Sean Powell on tonight's card. Right now, Raul Marquez and Flores in the ring. We come to the end of round 5, the midway point of the bout. We return after these words. In Mashantucket, Connecticut, Bob Papa along with Al Bernstein. In the ring, Raul Marquez and Flores as we begin round 6, scheduled for 10. Marquez, the former IBF junior middleweight champion of the world. We look at punch numbers in round 5.
There is Flores, and I gave him the last round, landing at a 55% clip, which is really pretty extraordinary. 25 of the 43 were power shots, too. So he went inside. He changed his game plan considerably, and it worked for him. Let's see if Flores continues to go on the inside.
Do you think that Marquez, as he tries a right hook to the body, needs to work the uppercut when he gets in tight?
Yes, I think that would be a very good weapon for him. And because I think a lot of times he's missing over the top with those punches. There's Flores ripping the body, and he has taken to that.
Caution again for a low blow. That right was a bit low. Second caution given to Flores. Flores 36-6 with 21 knockouts and 1 no contest.
One very good thing for Raul Marquez is no cuts yet. And, that's bedeviled him. He's not swelling around the eyes. So he has to like that. There's the body work. Raul Marquez has done great body work from time to time. There's the uppercut. So he's mixing in the weapons that I think are the ones he needs. And Flores now back to that inside fighting. Let's see how well he does in here.
Good right hit to the body by Marquez.
Raul Marquez is not a devastating puncher. He's a guy who wears you down by throwing all those combinations, by being active. Better round for Marquez. Javante Flores tried to get on the inside, but it didn't work as well. There he lands a good right hook.
Michael Ortega steps in to separate the boxers as we hit the final 10 seconds of round number 6. Scheduled for 10. Neither man has been down. Neither man has been hurt. Raul Marquez and Javante Flores.
Isn't everybody in the Oscar De La Hoya sweep?
It's funny because if you are in anywhere from 140 pounds to 158 pounds or so, you're in the De La Hoya sweepstakes. And if you're in the 122-pound range, your name is being mentioned for Prince Nassim Hamed. They are the banks of boxing right now.
They are indeed, and the shame for Roy Jones Jr. is that there aren't enough people in the 160 to 180-pound range.
Round number 7 underway, and Marquez and Flores both digging to the body.
We haven't seen a bout where both men have been so committed to the body in a long time. You know what else? When two lefties fight each other, it can be very interesting and pleasing, and I think we're seeing that now. Certain punches are available. It's much better than when a lefty and a righty fights. We've got good combinations by Marquez.
Flores did block some of that, though, including the final right hand to the chin. This is all body.
Yeah, both men and Flores now maybe a point taken away for low blows. He gets a strong warning.
That's the third warning given to Flores.
Time.
And Marquez will take some time.
Now, it's interesting. Despite no point being deducted, the referee's allowing Marquez to take some time, and that's a decent idea.
Normally, when a low blow is called, we'll take a look at it again.
Now, Marquez actually landed one on the border, but real low. Oh, my. That was very low from Flores.
Yeah, 3 of them from Flores. Good right hand to the body by Marquez.
This is turning into really a very entertaining match. One in which you can see both men can get things done from time to time in this. There's an ebb and flow to this bout.
On 25 seconds of the 7th round, scheduled for 10. Marquez has been better in boxing.
Now he is using the movement that we talked about earlier.
3 more rounds to go. Back to Foxwoods Casino after this timeout on the beat. Terry Norris, the former WBC super welterweight champion, former junior middleweight champion, coming off the longest layoff of his career, returns to the ring tonight against Dana Rosenblatt in tonight's main event. Bob Hopper along with Al Bernstein welcome you back to ESPN 2 Friday Night Fights. Shabato Flores and Raul Marquez slug it out here in round number 8, scheduled for 10 in this junior middleweight bout. Marquez, former world champion.
Now, was that shot in the dressing room? Was that life imitating art or art imitating life when we saw him on the screen? Which would that be? I'm not sure.
How you looking?
Right now, Marquez going after Flores, landing some pretty big shots, but wanting it to be a little bit of reward because he thinks his power is taking over.
As you saw the punch numbers, Raul Marquez has thrown 190 more punches than Shabato Flores. That's hard to do in just 7 rounds.
He's been very active. The only punch I think he has really underthrown is the uppercut. That is a punch I think he could really land better against Flores. Shabato Flores, it's interesting, early in the fight, his success came from the outside with the jab. Then he got busy on the inside. Now, however, it's Marquez winning the battle on the inside. So Flores maybe thought that's where he could do some good, but has not been able to sustain that. And interestingly, since the first couple rounds, look at who is dominating in the jab numbers. It's Raul Marquez. Flores not throwing the jab, and Shabato Flores looking just a little bit fatigued right now.
When you're a guy like Marquez, who was a champion a year ago, then had the Keith Mullins fight, late replacement with Mullins, and you got cut up and you did keep your title. Then you lose your title to Yori boy Campas in a short turnaround. You have not fought in 292 days. Is there a sense of tentativeness?
I would think there would be, but one great thing for Raul Marquez was he was able to get through those early rounds without getting cut, without getting hurt, without getting any swelling, and I think that plus the fact that even with that long layoff, he obviously has been sparring well. In fact, he was sparring with Terry Norris for both of them to get ready for their fights tonight. So he's had sharp sparring, and I think that's probably helped him a lot.
The right to the body by Marquez.
Oh, that was a beautiful left on the inside. Now the uppercut's becoming a big weapon for Raul Marquez.
Well, Marquez has 2 knockouts past the 8th round of his career.
Getting up the break by Flores, he'll get a point deducted. No, I guess not.
He's getting a lot of warnings and no points deducted. He readjusts his mouthpiece. 2 more rounds to go. We'll return after this timeout on ESPN 2's Friday Night Fights.
Where Flores hit off the break, and I mean, that was pretty blatant, I thought. And you could have made a case for a point being deducted, but it wasn't deducted.
And we begin round 9, the scheduled 10-rounder. Bob Hopper along with Al Bernstein.
Nice left hand by Flores to start out this round. Marquez landed 32 of 55 power shots in round 8 in one of his best rounds of the fight. Marquez's jab, which he really took out of mothballs around the 3rd round and really started using that punch a lot. I have Marquez ahead comfortably in about 79-73. There were some rounds that were closer, but I think in general he has pulled ahead in most of those rounds.
There's been no knockdowns, not a man really hurt. Flores has been cautioned 3 times now for low blows. He hit on a break in the last round. No points, though, have been deducted.
This is a fight I mentioned at the beginning that was important to Shabato Flores because it's a chance for him to step up and show people that he really belongs in the upper echelon of the junior middleweights. I don't know that he has done that yet in this bout, certainly. Not performing badly, it's just he's not doing enough, I don't think, to really win these rounds. At age 26, even though he is a veteran with lots of fights, over 40, 42 to be exact, he still has plenty of career left ahead of him.
He could be entering a never-ending cycle of being just that step below a title shot.
So often when fighters are there, they never quite get past that.
Marquez clean off, double right hand.
2 fights ago, I saw Flores against Buck Smith out in California, Simplon Casino, in which he won the decision over Buck. Of course, his head was 100 wounds he broke in many of those the journeyman category. And the problem is when you step up to a Marquez 2 fights later, it's pretty tough.
Sure is. And Raul Marquez, after 2 brutal wars against Keith Mullins and Yori Campas, has boxed, avoided clashes of the head, and has kept, to this point, his face cut free. After the end of round 9, the 10th and final round, and we return after this timeout on ESPN 2's Friday Night Fights. On hand here at Foxwoods tonight. Glad you can join us for ESPN 2's Friday Night Fights. We started things off with Eric Morrell, Lucille Riker, and Zahir Rahim all getting knockout wins. Raul Marquez and Shibata Flores begin the 10th and final round of their 10-round junior middleweight bout. Still to come, Dana Rosenblatt and Terry Norris. An action-packed night. Let's take a look at the punches through 9 rounds.
Raul Marquez throwing so many more than Flores. The interesting thing to me is that Flores is landing at a better percentage, but clearly not landing as many punches. And of course, even if you're landing at a great percentage, you need to land more than your opponent to win a boxing match, unless you're landing big power shots.
Al Bernstein, scorecard after 9.
Quite unofficial though it may be, I have Marquez at 89-82, and I would think the judges would have to be somewhere in that ballpark.
Maybe 1 or 2 rounds early where you might give Flores a shot, especially in the very early rounds where Marquez was busier, but Flores had landed a few more punches. But since round 5, in which Flores, we thought, won the round, it's really been all Marquez.
Marquez has only 1 KO past the 6th round, so you have to think at this juncture that knockout may not come.
Well, his 2 ninth-round knockouts, and one was a big one. That's when he won the IBF title against Anthony Stevens.
Stand corrected.
He has 2 ninth round, and he had the IBF title win against Anthony Stevens, stopping him in round 9. So, Marquez, I think, would settle for a decision win as they both decided they'd like knockouts. Of course, Flores probably needs one.
It has gone the way Marquez wanted it to. I think in general, this has been the kind of a bout that he would have hoped for in his comeback bout after the Campas fight. He hasn't sustained any serious damage, a little swelling under one of his eyes, but nothing radical. And of course, he's not in there against a huge puncher in Flores, but still, he's been able to show his technique. And for a 292-day layoff, it's a fairly efficient performance by Marquez.
You always wonder when a guy is coming off 2 wars, how much he has left. And he decided that he had some boxing left as Flores nails him with a combination. Marquez answers. There's the bell to end it. Marquez and Flores embrace. We'll find out what the judges thought after. Papa, along with Al Bernstein, final punch stats for Raul Marquez and Shibata Flores. Raul Marquez landing 280 punches. Flores with the better percentage, but Marquez the aggressor, obviously.
He threw so many more, and the total number, of course, ends up in his favor.
For the decision, here's Mark Biro.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. All 3 judges at ringside, Robert Paulino, Tommy Kazmarek, and Robert O'Brien, has scored the bout 98-92 for the winner by unanimous decision, Raul Marquez.
So Raul Marquez wins it 8 rounds to 2, unanimous decision against Flores, and he improves to 29-1. And his comeback after a 292-day layoff is complete with a solid win against Flores. Well, our main event still to come, a vacant IBA middleweight championship. Dana Rosenblatt against Terry Norris, former world champion Terry Norris. Dana Rosenblatt with 153 rounds as a professional. Norris with 148 title rounds. A big step up in class for Dynamite Dana Rosenblatt. Terry Norris, 47-7 with 31 knockouts. The longest layoff of his career. He lost his junior middleweight championship on December the 6th of 1997. For a closer look at Terry Norris, Al Bernstein has a view.
Terry Norris is a 4-time world champion who had held the WBC junior welterweight belt for the better part of 10 years. But on the verge of a huge payday with Oscar De La Hoya, his world came apart. In December of '97, he stepped into the ring with Keith Mullings, who had given Raul Marquez a run for his money the previous September. Norris was having his way, boxing Mullings from the outside and winning rounds. But come the mid-rounds, Norris decided to change his attack, and he moved inside.
I still think his fighting on the inside was a big mistake, because that's his game, man. I should just stick to my game plan, and just kept boxing, kept moving. But instead, I got stupid, and I went in and tried to brawl with him, and he caught me some devastating punches. I threw a wild hook, and he just rocked back and caught me with a good right hand.
In the 8th round, Norris found himself on the canvas with thoughts of his title and a payday versus Oscar De La Hoya slipping away.